275 horsepower, 317 pound-feet of torque coming in the 2023 Lexus NX 350 F Sport. Today I'm going to tell you what it's like to drive this vehicle. And make sure to stay to the end because I'll head back in the studio, give you guys a quick buying guide on how I like the vehicle and what kind of deals you can find in your area. And this thing's a looker, so let's get on the outside. Ultrasonic Blue Mica 2.0, one of the greatest Lexus colors, and it's only available on F Sport trims. We see that little F Sport logo on the side. That's the thumbnail I took. You only see that logo here on F Sport handling or F Sport appearance packages. It has a unique front end to it. We have the unique F Sport mesh pattern grille with these large pieces on the side. Now this also has the triple beam LED headlights, looking fantastic. Love the looks of the new NX. I feel like the proportions are right on. The big brother to this, the RX, when it got redesigned, it got a little bit bigger and it just looks a little off in comparison to the NX. I think the NX is the best looking crossover, and in my opinion, it is the best crossover in the Lexus lineup. We got the darkened window surrounds here. We got the two-tone handles. It's black on the top and the bottom, looks great. The large 20-inch black F Sport wheels. We got black roof. We don't have the roof rack on here, but at least the rails, and we also have that panel roof on this guy. Let's come around to the back. No visible exhaust tips, but we have a little sporty chin at the bottom. That kind of matches the front end on the front of this vehicle. The light bar that goes across. Now, what do you guys think? Are you a big fan of the Lexus typed out here? I think I still would have preferred the traditional Lexus badge to kind of take up more of this space, but it doesn't look bad. That's just my preference. We also have all-wheel drive on here. No F Sport badges on the back of F Sport models anymore. It's only on the side of the vehicle. So you get in here, tons of cargo room, especially compared to the last generation NX. You even have underfloor storage, which is pretty amazing. But there is no spare tire here on this particular model. We do have the first aid kit, flexible tonneau cover. Let's go ahead and close this. Let's get in the back seat. I love this color combination, the blue with the red. I mean, it would be hard for me to not get this color combination if I'm getting an F Sport model. This is Nulux. This is Lexus's synthetic leather. It is super comfy, very soft, and super durable, more durable than the leather. It will last the test of time. A little exclusive trim here, this aluminum trim, only for the F Sport models. I love the stitching here, soft touch. Well, yeah, even this piece is soft touch. So Lexus materials are very, very impressive here, even on the back door. Again, on the inside, map pockets on each side. We have the vents for the rear passengers. We have two USBs back here. They're both USB-C. That's pretty next level. We also have a 12-volt for accessory power. Pulling this down reveals a couple cup holders, and I can enjoy the panel roof from the back seat quite thoroughly. At 6'1", sitting behind myself at 6'1", I have a good amount of legroom back here. I'd be comfortable for a long trip. Headroom is good as well, so that wouldn't be a problem unless you're over 6'1". You might start running into the top. So let's get into the front seat. And these door handles, I really like this two-tone to it. Same attention to detail on this front door as we had in the back door. The materials feel great. Memory seats here for the driver's side. And these seats do feel, I got husky hair goes with me everywhere, whether he comes or not. Anyways, we have F Sport embroidered or embossed onto the headrest. I love these seats. They're definitely a big improvement compared to the first gen NX F Sport that were just a little too tight. Now this cushion here at the bottom is still a little too tight for me. We only have a horizontal lumbar. It doesn't move vertically. And coming on the inside, F Sport steering wheel with some pretty darn good F Sport stitching. Especially this side looks really, really clean. Now this also has paddle shifters to roll through your 8-speed auto, your 7-inch MID. Now it's cloudy today, so it isn't reflecting as much as it normally is, but you see this black bezel on the top. It's blinded me a few times, and then this is really hard to read if it's full sun outside, and luckily it's not, so I can read a little bit better. We also have a head-up display in this model. I do not have the Mark Levinson in this, but this audio system in here is really, really good, and I'm surprised, to be honest, because it gets so loud that I can't even max out the system without hurting my ears. Now, it doesn't have the most amazing bass, but I'd put it better than just about every single optional JBL system that you have on lesser Toyotas. So well done, Lexus, with the bass sound system. I don't feel like I'm missing out too much. Lots of glossy black. So the glossy black continues around this beautiful 14-inch screen. And I like having wireless Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay in here. Unfortunately, it's hard for me to get back to the main system. So I have to press this button and then press the Lexus button. Sometimes it's not the most responsive as well, or I press the Lexus button and it's hard to get back to the software. But you look how easy they make it to get back into your Android Auto once you're in the base software. But then that little sidebar goes away and then you're back into here. So also, this doesn't take up the full screen. The navigation, it takes up, I would say, like a 12-inch screen. It looks great, but I can't get rid of the climate control additional functions here that we have for ventilated seats, the steering wheel, which is awesome to have, but there's no like button for me to hide this that I'm aware of. The only way to get rid of that is going all the way back to the Lexus software, and then it minimizes here with their own inbuilt Google points of interest software, which it works pretty well, but I'd rather just use my Android Auto because I'm comfortable with my phone. All right, this is always up, this portion on the screen, which is your fan control. I like the climate control in here. Is it better to have physical knobs and switches for fan control? Yes, but at least I have this, and that's pretty simple. It's pretty well done. I have a 360 camera on this model as well. It takes forever to do that, so I just put it into reverse if you want to see the camera. If I put it into drive, it goes away. But if I press this button while I'm in drive, it shows me the front camera. USB-C, USB-A, a small cubby here, and you also have this retractable phone charger, but there's no way for me to turn it off. So if I wanted to rest my phone here while I'm charging, through the wire, it thinks it's charging wirelessly as well, and then you hear it as well. You hear it clunking around trying to figure out what's going on. So I just tuck this away and put my phone in here so I have access to my cup holders as well. Tiny little shifter here, pretty much identical to any sort of Toyota hybrid in the last, I don't know, 10, 15 years. Over and up for reverse, over and down for drive, but this isn't a hybrid. So it's kind of weird that we have such a small shifter even on a traditional gas model. Auto brake hold is a great feature. You have downhill control, you have this little off-road mode, and a lot of glossy black here. Would have been great to have that aluminum, that low reflective aluminum around here as well. That would make the experience a little bit better. But luckily I do have a dedicated drive knob here, drive mode knob. I do have adaptive dampers on here, which is great. This knob should be in the Lexus RX F Sport, the RZ as well, but instead on those models you have to fumble through the screen to change your drive mode, which is tough. But yeah, I like having this dedicated drive mode knob here. You also have a digital rear view mirror on this model, which is quite handy. Oh, there's someone running, perfect timing. This is the turbo model, the 2.4 liter turbo, 8-speed automatic. They've beefed up the all-wheel drive system on here for this generation, so you can send a lot more power to not only the rear wheels, but also the torque vectoring in the rear wheels as well is much superior compared to the old Lexus NX Turbo. Now, this isn't the base engine like the turbo 4-cylinder was on the previous NX. The base engine is an actually aspirated 2.5 liter with around 200 horsepower, and that'll actually be more efficient than this. I'm getting about 22 miles per gallon in town with this guy. Not my favorite thing because I know how good Toyota and Lexus hybrids are. So if you don't want the turbo and you want better efficiency, you can get the 2.5 liter with around 240 horsepower. It's just a tick slower in terms of acceleration, but I think it's more refined, more efficient, and more enjoyable to drive for a Lexus model. But you can't get the 2.5 liter hybrid with this F Sport package. However, there's a plug-in hybrid at the top of the end. Those are going to cost over $60,000. This one is around $55,000. But the plug-in hybrid offers the best of both worlds. You have about 40 miles of plug-in range. You also have 40 miles per gallon when the plug-in range runs out, and then you also have over 300 horsepower, around 305, 306 horsepower on the plug-in hybrid. 450h plus, that is the fastest Lexus NX available. This will do 0 to 60 in around 7 seconds, where the plug-in hybrid will do it probably around 6 seconds. All right, let's start driving the NX F Sport. Putting it into drive, and just to give you guys like parking this thing, that's why I like the NX so much. It just fits me better, not physically, than the RX. The RX's seats are a little bit more comfortable for me, but I feel more comfortable in this vehicle because Okay, Nissan Kicks. And there's that front cross traffic alert, which I am not a big fan of, but luckily you can disable it if you want to through the menus. But anyways, why am I more comfortable in this vehicle? Well, it just suits me better. I think it's easier to drive than the Lexus RX, especially around town. Like, this feels very compact, and I can easily maneuver in tight areas. I can get around traffic a little bit easier as well compared to the RX, and I like the looks a lot better than the RX as well. All right, little green arrow action. Don't think about it, Volvo. You know, it almost has like a two-stage pedal to it, like the IS 500 that I've driven before with the V8. So like you feel like you're flooring it, and then you press a little bit harder and it goes down an extra few millimeters. I don't know if that actually gives me any more acceleration. It didn't feel like it. But we have these paddle shifters here. How responsive is this 8-speed? I mean, I like, you know, playing with the paddle shifters is kind of fun. That's actually the first time I did it. If I own this vehicle, I'd really never ever use the paddle shifters. But what is it like if it's steady state here and you just need to go, even in normal mode, pedal down to pass someone? It's pretty good. And man, gosh, the torque on this is so much better than the naturally aspirated variant of this car, but also better than the previous generation. It really has a nice punch to it when you get into that pedal. There it is. Like, it pushes me to the back of my seat. So peak horsepower, yes, it's gone up compared to the last generation. It's gone up around 40 horsepower if I remember right. But the torque, I mean, the torque is where I feel the biggest improvement. And this 8-speed auto I really, really like over the outgoing 6-speed auto. Yeah, this feels great. Now, ride quality, even with these 20-inch wheels, is fantastic. I love how this NX rides in normal mode. If I put into Sport Plus mode, I'm gonna throw it around the turn here and immediately started downshifting. And the roads are a little bit slippery. We just had a rain shower here. It is summer here in Florida. Nice and firm. Oh man, it rotates so well. Yes, the NX is fun to drive, you know? It feels small, it feels eager. It's definitely more fun to drive than its little brother, the UX. The UX just needs, I mean, if the UX had this engine, oh my gosh, that thing would be like a hot hatch. It would literally be a hot hatch. I'd love to see like a UX 350 F-Sport Performance. Anyways, I'm getting off topic, but Lexus, you can make something like that and people will be eager to jump into it because the performance I get here is very satisfactory, and to have it in a smaller vehicle would be quite a fun time. It is very quiet in here as well, just cruising. Yeah, even in sport mode, just the ride quality was still quite good there. Very, very quiet. No, I had like no noticeable air coming through the cabin. Oh yeah, the shifts feel great with this 8-speed auto. Nice and substantial. They're not the smoothest, which is great for a more of a performance trim. Now I do have customizable buttons here with the head-up display. Lexus, like, I'm still not completely sold on it. Some days I just wish I had, you know, the physical buttons here that remain the same. But this head-up display is so good that I can see where my thumb is on the glass without having to take my eyes off the road. So we're going to do a little radar cruise control here. It's on right now. I can also adjust the distancing, and lane tracing is on. And this is Lexus Safety System 3.0, and it's fantastic. I love this system. I feel like the proactive driving assist is completely unnecessary, and that's something I like disabling, because what that does is actually slows the car down for you. If it thinks you're going too fast around a turn, it just makes the car driving experience very unpredictable. It's a very nannying sort of system. The head-up display is like, hey, put your hands back on the steering wheel. But yeah, on the head-up display, I see that I'm in the center of the lanes. That's locked in with green bars on the outside. The green steering wheel let me know that it has controlled the steering wheel for your lane centering. I don't have my foot on the brake, and it's automatically slowing down nice and smoothly behind this Kia Soul here. Yeah, not as smooth as me as bringing it to a stop, but in stop and go traffic, you really won't have to think about it too much because the car will do it for you. And right now it says waiting. It wants to remind you that this car is ready to re-engage with acceleration once this light turns green. Oh, we have a nice NX next to us. This is the red line color, I think it's what it's called. It is not an F Sport. Hopefully you guys can see that in the camera next to me. It does not have the triple beams. It has a little bit smaller wheels in this model as well. But I like the standard grille style on that. I think Lexus has made the vehicles look so much better with the second generation compared to that first generation. They have a caramel headliner in there, so they probably have that nice light interior. You know, the red interior is cool and all for the F Sport, but if I was not getting the F Sport. All right, let's see what happens here, what I need to do. I press the top button for resume on the steering wheel, and there it goes. And that's the NX250 with the naturally aspirated. That's like a Florida special, front wheel drive, NX250. Still looks great even in the base trim in my opinion. So that would be a great option to go if you need a low lease payment or a low monthly payment as well. And it'd be a perfect city car and be a lot more efficient than this, but not nearly as fun to drive with the AVS and you know, this really torquey turbo 4-cylinder setup. And with a lot of stop and go going on right now with the radar cruise control, it's just taking over and doing a really good job, and I can just talk to you guys and not have to think about driving. Not saying you shouldn't think about driving when you're in the car in the driver's seat, but that's what safety features are for, is that they enhance our capabilities.
Just got back in from driving the NX350, and good timing too, because the thunder is rolling outside. All right, so 2024 models are on the builder already. I just drove a 2023 model. There's little to no differences. There might be some differences in some trim levels with the interior, like the dash might be a different color this time around, and certain portions of the interior are a little different. I think I made a video on that. I'll put that in the description if you want to guys see what's different with the 2024 model, but there's nothing really massively significant. NX250 front wheel drive, that's like that red car we just saw at the end of the video. The 350 all-wheel drive F-Sport handling comes starting around $50,000, and that is the vehicle I just drove, but with options, so mine was around $55,000. My favorite NX is this guy. The 350 all-wheel drive, I think it's the best bang for your buck, great efficiency. Let's get it in Nori green. Let's go to the interior. Let's get green with the tan. This is the Palomino, which was on the car, the 250 right next to me. If we go to the next image here, the additional two-tone I don't think was on previous models, maybe here on the center console, but also here on the glove box. Looks great on the doors and the A-pillar as well. Okay, so that's the interior we're gonna go with. Green and tan color combination. Let's go on over to packages. What does the premium package add? Well, it adds heated and ventilated front seats. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that. I think that's a great thing, but it adds a lot as well. But here's a problem. I have to give up something. So I have to select from the following interiors, which is a Palomino Nulux with black prism, or rich cream Nulux with black prism. Well, I like the darker interior, the darker of the lighter interiors. But also that premium package, we get memory seat, we get the moonroof, you get the power rear door with kick sensor, rain sensing wipers, as well as intuitive parking sensors, which is super helpful. All right, let's close that out. We don't need the luxury package, which will add leather. Advanced park, I don't need that because I can park my own vehicle. I'm not going to use a towing hitch, but that you can, if you wanted to, maybe you're bringing bikes around, you can do that. But what that does is that it removes your kick sensor. Open and close power rear door, well, we already have that with our premium package. We already have the moonroof. If you wanted the heated steering wheel, go ahead and add that. That's pretty much pointless here in Florida. I like the big screen, so let's go ahead and add the big screen as well. I don't need to have the big 20-inch wheels. I think the standard wheels are 19-inch. I think they're great. I'm also going to pass on the head display, even though it's fantastic. We'll just save a little bit of money, and we'll also save a little bit of money on the Mark Levinson. It's probably worth the $2,200 because it is that good. Mark Levinson, one of the best sound systems on the market, but honestly, I was really impressed with the bass sound system here on the NX. So Yeah, the 350h, 40 miles per gallon, 0 to 60, and a little over, I think it's a little over 7 seconds, 7.5 seconds, so plenty quick. $48,000, the beautiful green and tan interior. There's one next to me, apparently, at Germain, which is my local Lexus dealer just up the block from me, with the right interior, with the right pack. The only thing that it's added on here is they added the head-up display. So I would be happy to pull the trigger on this guy at around $50,000. I think that's a good deal. Now, if you're looking for like the cheapest NX possible, there are a ton of 250s. Look how popular it is in my area. There are 120 NX 250s in my area. A lot of 350s as well. Look how hard it is to get your hands on the hybrid and plug-in hybrid. But let's look at the 250 here and let's see how cheap we can get that 250. About $41,000 for the 250. I'd be happy to spend 5 to 10 grand more to get the 350h. In my opinion, I think it's worth it. But if you want to save money, get a cheap lease payment, look at these guys coming in the low 40s for the 250 base 2.5 liter with 200 horsepower. But anyways, I'm gonna end it there. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe for more Lexus and Toyota reviews with a little buying guide at the end. I think it's a lot of fun for me. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you do, let me know if you like the buying guides at the end. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great day and peace.